Hey everybody, welcome to the recap on the Friday before the Super Bowl. And what I want to start off with is a little report that I did, and it was based on something I saw on Live PD last week. And, well, here's the report. Here's what it's all about.
Saturday on live TV at a traffic stop, the police searched the guy's car and they found a bottle of urine in it. And the cop said to the guy, you can't have that in your car. And the guy said, what are you talking about? You can buy this stuff in gas stations. So obviously, I mean, it was a surprise to Dan Abrams, it was a surprise to Styx Larkin, and it was a surprise to me. So what I've decided to do is to come and see if I can find it in a gas station. Now, there've got to be 30 or 40 gas stations in Vero Beach. I'm not going to go to all of them. I'm going to start with these handful that are up by where I-95 intersects Route 60. And I'm going to start with the biggest one right here. Well, that was a bust. That's a great truck stop. They got everything there: driver's lounges, a game room, and a very, very big store. No urine. We're going to go to another one. See what we get. Well, I've checked out 4 or 5 of these gas stations, and nobody's got it. So I think in Vero Beach, I mean, unless something pops up, I'm not going to find them. Now, I guess I ought to give you a practical suggestion. I think if you're looking for urine, you know, you've run out somehow or other, yeah, if you're down here, give me a call. Doubtless I can help you out.
Yeah, I've checked other gas stations during the week, and I still haven't found it. And by the way, they stopped a car that night where the person was drinking a thing called Natty beer behind the wheel, and I had never ever heard of Natty beer, and I was going to go looking for that as well. I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that Natty beer is a brand from a company called Natural Light, I think, something like that. So it's a legitimate beer. I mean, it's not quite up to the level of this snack that I found when I was out looking for the urine. I'd never heard of this snack, and I'm ashamed to say I didn't try it. Now, also in Jersey news, you know, I've reported in the past about this great big empty lot that's behind the house, and they're going to be putting a lot of houses up in there. And they've actually started with several in there. And, you know, here they are. I mean, this one that really came along, it's come along quite a bit. And the roof that you see on it, the framing for the roof, that was all put up in a day. In fact, the day was yesterday. And I assume today they'll put plywood slabs on the top of it. It's across the street from another house that's going up, and it's next to a house that's going up to next to Bob's house down the end of our block. Well, that's really it for Jersey news. Now let me shift over to the Super Bowl, and as it turns out, I did something, or I said something a few weeks ago that might have created some misunderstanding, and let me clarify it.
Several weeks ago, I made the observation that love them or hate them, Belichick and Brady have just phenomenal numbers, and that you got to give them credit for that. Some of you made the mistake of thinking that what I was really saying is that it's not okay to hate the Patriots. Well, I want to correct that. It is okay to hate the Patriots. And if you need to remember why, remember this. First off, they're in the AFC East, the weakest division in football, which means every season they get an opportunity to go deep into the season and into the playoffs. In fact, since 2001, they've taken 13 AFC East titles. Now, let's remember Spygate, Deflategate, the Tuck Rule. we've got a pattern of bending the rules, breaking the rules, getting away with it, and you have Tom Brady saying, look, if you got a problem with it, just read the rule book. Well, I think the fundamental reason why you ought to hate the Patriots is that they just won't go away. They just won't. Year in and year out, there they are. 13 AFC East titles. So now come Sunday, it is quite okay to be hating Belichick, to be hating Brady, to be hating Robert Kraft, and especially to really be offended by the smugness of New England fans. I mean, these people are, they're just plain awful. So anyway, I didn't mean to suggest that you shouldn't hate the Patriots. In fact, I think, quite frankly, you should. I do. I'm going to be rooting for the Rams. But, based on past performance, you just can't rule the Patriots out.
Yeah, you're quite okay. You're very good to go with hating Tom Brady, hating Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, the Patriots fans, and you can throw Gisele Bundchen into the mix for all I care. A thing that's interesting about this game is that, the line on the game the day after the championships was set at New England by 2.5. In 2 weeks, that hasn't moved. And with $6 billion bet on this thing, you would expect that the line would move half a point or a point one way or the other. It absolutely hasn't. And I think this weekend I'm taking the points. I think I'm taking the Rams with 2.5. I'm thinking that the Rams will learn from the Giants on how to beat the Patriots. Namely, get after Brady, get after him early, get after him hard. He tends to lose his composure. That's my view. Rams plus 2.5. Take them. You got a shot. Thinking of the Super Bowl reminded me of the story of this old timer who was at a game, one of the Super Bowls, and he was sitting next to an empty seat. He saw a guy in the back, standing in the back, and he kind of waved to him and said, "Come on down. Why don't you take this seat?" And the guy was delighted to do it, and he said, "Gee, how is it that you have an empty seat?" And he said, "Well, my wife passed away. She and I went to just about every Super Bowl that there was. We always got 2 seats, and because we've been lifelong Super Bowl goers, it's easy for me to get the tickets. And so she can't be here, and so you can take the seat. I hate to see it go empty." And the guy said, "Well, where is she?" And the old timer said, "Well, she passed away, and therefore she can't make the game." So the guy said, "Well, don't you have children, a relative, somebody you'd want, or a neighbor, or somebody you'd want to bring to the game?" And the guy said, "Well, I do, but they're all at the funeral." All right, so there you go. There's I'm getting you ready for the Super Bowl weekend. Have a good one. Enjoy the game. See you back here next week.